So hi, yeah, my name is Laszlo. I work together with Yasmina, who is unfortunately not here today. So I will attempt to summarize our work in the last couple months and actually the last couple years, because this project started in 2019. So we are trying to understand visual preference. Now, Kate introduced me that I'm from the vet school, so actually I have to remind you that we're looking at human visual preference. We're actually not looking at other animals, at least not at the moment. So understanding visual preference in humans actually started out as one of the core questions that kickstarted psychological science and the field of aesthetics. It's an unsolved question for the past 150 years. When you go to a museum, you might find some paintings that you like, you might find some that you don't. What is actually driving that? So our attempt to look into this is to do with styles, how the paintings are painted, so how the brushstrokes are applied, what are those sort of characteristics that belong to a particular painter. And the other one is to look into content, what is actually being depicted, what is the semantic content of the painting. And with the recent advancements in deep learning, what we could actually do is create artificial paintings where we can control for the style and for the content as well. So what you depict, the images that you see here, they might look like actual paintings. They are not. They are created from photographs of a waterfall and a butterfly using what is called style transfer algorithms that use deep learning to effectively mimic the style of a particular painting or a portfolio of a painter and apply that to an image. So on the bottom left, you can see two paintings that have different content but the same style. And the top right, you see two paintings where the content is the same, in this case a waterfall, but the style is different. We created, we printed these and actually ran an exhibition before COVID, actually in 2019, where we recorded eye movements of people coming to this exhibition wearing mobile eye trackers. This is like a pair of glasses and it can tell us where you're looking at. And what we were doing in the past couple months is using deep learning techniques, in this case transformers, so the same type of models that drive ChatGPT, for example, to try to find certain eye movements that belong to either style or content exploration. And we can do this because of our very specific stimuli set. So if on the top right, you can see an example where the content is the same. So eye movements here, some eye movements here, we predict to belong to style exploration. And what the model has to do is take a particular eye movement and make a prediction whether it thinks to be a high probability that this is to do with style exploration or with content exploration. And we can actually train multiple neural networks, so we can look at a sort of agreement between networks, what they think, what eye movements belong to. What we are trying to look here in this particular project is whether we can detect eye movements to do with style exploration. And hopefully this will help us to go towards this final goal to understand visual preference. Is there such a thing that you like the style of a particular painter, and can we actually use biometrics? Is it actually in physiology? Is it actually in your eye movements that we can pick this up? And we can potentially profile you before you go into a museum in the future and guide you towards certain paintings that you are likely to enjoy. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Do you have any questions for Laszlo? Are you still planning to do another exhibition? Is that like an experimental exhibition?
Yes. Yes. So we are planning to do one where we are not actually we are not exhibiting, but we are doing the profiling part. So I mean, the final product, if you wish, the idea is that you go to a museum, there will be potentially something like a computer screen, eye tracker or something. We show you a specific stimuli set. Then the magic happens. This is sort of unworked yet. And then we will be able to guide you that you go into particular parts of this exhibition, and we can sort of tailor it for you. Perhaps when you go to museums and like hundreds of artworks are displayed, by the time you get to the half of it, you get very fatigued, you get very tired, and even though you might enjoy certain ones in this second half example, it's just a struggle. So we are trying to sort of target, or do the other way, is like, okay, you're really into some certain style, maybe you would like to explore something that will be novel to you. So you can turn this coin in any direction, yes.
And do you have a specific gallery or that you partner with?
Yes, so the next step is hopefully we're going to do this with the Royal West of England Academy. And that's in the works, so hopefully in the autumn we can do that. And then the next step, that's potentially next year or after, to go to Tate Modern.
Thank you very much, that's really exciting. Anybody else got any questions for Laszlo? You're obviously all more familiar with eye tracking software than I was. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. I've got one question about the equipment you use for tracking eye movement. So it's something like some type of glasses or VR equipment for you to track the eye movement?
Yes. So the idea is that we try to mimic a free viewing gallery visit as much as possible. So the nearest we can do equipment-wise is to be really weightless and not bother participants. It's a pair of glasses, and what they have is small cameras looking inside. It looks, if you remember Google Glass, a little bit like that, but there's no cameras really. There is one camera facing out, so we can track your eye movements to what you're actually seeing. Yes. And other than that, I think you have a little battery pack in your pocket, and that's it. So it's not that sort of traditional or old school eye tracking equipment where you're sitting in front of a computer and you have to be really still and you have to strap people on. So this is very pleasant. It's non obtrusive in any way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm curious about the museum visitors. Do you profile them beforehand in terms of people who are new to art versus people who are more art connoisseurs? Because that would affect how they view style and content, because I know nothing about art. And so maybe my interest level will be different from someone who loves art.
Yes. So that's a very, very good question. When we did, this was just a proof of concept, this exhibition. So one of the most important questions we asked people was your experience with art. So if you are a curator, you have a lot of experience with artworks, we expect that you will, your eye movements, how you explore things will be different. So we are trying to go towards that, but this was just proof of concept. So while we recorded this data here, we're just trying to demonstrate that you can actually use deep networks to identify eye movement sequences belonging to particular exploration. But this next one that Kate was asking me about, it's actually going to focus on the visitor. So we're less interested in the technology, and we're more interested in how people feel about it, what experiences, age, cultural background, ethnicity, and attitudes towards AI as well. It is going to be a big question. Like if I tell you that I'm going to use your data, that a machine will profile you for your art preferences, is that going to be something that people will be okay with? And so what are those stages, and what data we can give to an AI that people will be comfortable with? So yeah, these are very important questions.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.